Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. Although we are therapists, this podcast is not therapy and does not replace working with your own therapist. Everything shared here is for general education and conversation only.
Welcome back to Two Anxious Girls. I am Dabby,
And I'm Christina.
and we're two therapists who spend 40 hours a week helping others navigate their lives or encouraging self-care, and the other 128 hours wondering if we are doing our lives entirely wrong and not resting enough.
Mhm.
How are you, madam?
I'm actually speaking about self care. I slept a little longer than usual this morning, so I'm feeling rested and I'm feeling good. How are you?
That sounds delicious.
It was it was very delicious.
That's everyone's dream. I have a bit of a bad habit. I wake up every morning checking how many hours did I sleep and what's my sleep
Mhm.
score. And today
Mhm.
it was good. I got, I believe, a 74. It says that I slept 7 hours. I had no interruptions, so that's a good thing. But I just love it when I get my 8 hours of sleep and my score is above 90. And I
Yeah,
feel it in my body.
that sounds so satisfying to see that too.
Yeah. Anyhow, before we dive in, I just wanted to address that last week I did mention that we were going to start discussing the book Burnout, The Secret to Unloading the Stress Cycle. However, we just felt that this bridge episode would be best to discuss before we start talking about the book. And it's about guilt. So last week we were talking about stress, and this week we're talking about why we feel so guilty when we rest and why can we really just disconnect truly
Mhm.
and not feel guilty by doing so.
Yep.
So, Christina, when was the last time you rested without feeling guilty? Not because you were sick like last week.
Um, well, no, but even when I'm sick, I feel guilty in a sense,
Ay, ay, ay.
you
Yeah.
know? I don't know if that guilt will ever go away. I know it's possible. Well, I will say this morning I rested longer than usual, and I honestly didn't feel guilty. Like, my husband took the baby on a walk, so I
Mhm.
I knew that I can, like, I didn't have to hear her, like, talking and screaming, so I really didn't feel guilty about the fact that I could sleep an extra hour. So, I will say this morning, and that probably will be my anxiety win later when we talk.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that he took her out on a walk this morning. Is that
Mhm.
your natural alarm? Kai's voice
Oh,
screaming in
yeah. Yeah, I don't have to set an alarm anymore.
that is so sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet sometimes, yeah.
Oh.
What about you? When was the last time you felt not guilty for resting?
Lately, I think I'm doing a little bit better. So my main issue is that when I lay down and I just want to sit and relax, I start thinking about my mental list of things to do.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, but I should get up and do this. Oh, but I should get up and do that. That's why I know that finances don't always allow, but I love it. I love it when I go away on little weekend getaways because I really do disconnect
Yeah, and you don't
and I
feel
don't feel
guilty.
guilty at all.
Yeah.
So our last little getaway was 2 weeks ago. It was great. Cape May, the beach.
Mhm.
I love it. I was literally just sitting on the beach for hours, reading
Mhm.
my book, which by the way, it was Burnout, and not having a worry in the world and just truly just being in the moment. But when
Yeah,
I'm home, which
it's
I know
different.
that I need to work on it because I'm not rich,
Mhm.
I'm just thinking about all the things that I have to do. I feel guilty. So I just get up and start doing or keep doing what I need to do.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, which probably takes us to our spiraling. Exactly what you just shared, how a lot of us anxious girls can't even lay down without thinking about that mental list. So, the spiraling, this is where we talk about the anxious thought loops that people like us feel incredibly to be true in the moment. So, today's spiral sounds a little like kind of what you were just saying, Debbie. I should be doing something productive, or I haven't earned a break yet. I shouldn't be laying down. I'll rest after I finish the laundry, which is funny because I feel like our mental list probably never ends. Like, once we complete 5 things, there's like another 20. So, the list never truly ends.
No, it never does. Another silly story for this week, the paper toilet.
The what?
Paper toilet. I had ran out of paper toilet in my
Oh, toilet
bed.
paper,
Yeah,
silly.
yeah, toilet paper, sorry. Paper toilet, toilet paper. English is my second language.
No,
I
that's
never
okay,
say
Debbie. Have fun.
anyhow, I had no toilet paper upstairs.
Mhm.
Am I saying it correctly?
Toilet paper, yes.
And, okay, maybe this would be a little TMI, but I always do have baby wipes. So,
Mhm.
baby wipes were upstairs. Anyhow, no toilet paper for 2, 3 days. Every night before I go upstairs, I was like, "Oh, I need to take the toilet paper upstairs. I need to take the toilet paper." I forgot. This morning, I finally took it out.
Yeah.
Anyhow, yeah, just there's always something, and we always forget.
Yeah, always. Yeah, I am so guilty of I don't know if that's considered procrastination, but I'm so guilty of just almost, like, torturing myself with ruminating of, like, things I have to do instead of just doing it.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Mhm.
that it's not being lazy. No, that is rumination. That is the definition of rumination.
Yeah, because there's just too much. There's too much.
Uh, yes. But with that,
Yeah.
um,
Let's get back to the spiral the spiral.
I'm spiraling right now.
It's okay. Anxiety truly does has a way have a way of continuously adding new responsibilities to us, which means rest keeps getting pushed further and further away. And then what happens is that we stop seeing rest as a need and start seeing it almost as a luxury, which is really sad. Um,
Absolutely.
or a sign that we're being lazy, which I just said, which we're not lazy.
Yeah. No, not at all. And I feel that that's really our mind playing tricks with us because I do understand that we do live in a society that rewards productivity, that rewards individuals who are highly productive. That we cannot take away. But a sign of being lazy, that's where we really need to focus on the facts and let our own selves know, okay, if I were to be lazy, would I do X, Y, and Z? Would I have accomplished X, Y, and Z by the end of the day? So we do need to be checking that so that we
Mhm,
don't feel guilty. And that is where the guilt begins when we start having these negative cognitions of our own selves.
mhm,
Um, so, with that, let's move into our therapy insights, which is our second segment. And this is where we bring things that we have learned through therapy, through our own clinical work, and our own anxious lives.
mhm,
Yeah. So, as I mentioned just right now, one of the biggest issues nowadays is that today's culture, it's all about productivity. We have absorbed this message that it tells us that maybe our own self-worth, it's connected to what we have accomplished and how much we produce and how much we do and how busy we are and how much we can handle without crumbling.
mhm.
Um, and somewhere along the way, we just learned that being busy, it's very valuable and that rest equals wasting time. And that is a negative cognition that we do need to challenge
Yeah.
uh, because that's not what being human is. We
Mhm,
are not machines. We are biological beings that require recovery. We need to rest. As I was mentioning earlier, maybe it's not so healthy that I'm always looking at my sleep score, but something that I love about it is that right below it, it says, why is sleep so important? Why it's important to get my restful sleep because our body needs it. Um,
mhm,
Another piece of this is the anxiety and hypervigilance that comes when we're constantly just thinking of all the things that we need to do and the things that we have not accomplished. For
mhm.
us, well, for us and for some individuals, rest does not feel relaxing.
Yeah.
And that's an issue. It feels sometimes unsafe because when everything gets quiet, the brain gets loud and
Mhm,
starts pushing towards the front our to-do list, all the worries, everything that we should be addressing, all the things that we should be doing instead of just relaxing. And that's where the overthinking and then the spiraling occurs.
yeah, and unfortunately, many anxious people aren't purposely avoiding rest because they don't want it. They're probably avoiding the thoughts and feelings that often will show up when they do start to slow down. So this is why we often hear people say, "I don't know how to relax,"
Mhm,
which is probably they want to say, "My nervous system doesn't know how to feel safe when I'm not doing something."
mhm,
So many times in therapy, we hear clients like just being on the go, 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 go. And then when you ask them, well, what happens like in the quiet moments? And they can't even think about it because it's probably too scary to be with your own thoughts. So let's talk about the difference between rest and avoidance because they're not the same thing. So avoidance is escaping something because we're afraid to face it. And rest is intentionally pausing so we can restore our bodies. So avoidance leaves us feeling stuck, and rest helps us return with more energy, more mental capacity, more physical capacity. And one question we typically encourage clients to ask themselves is am I resting because I'm caring for myself or am I avoiding something I need to address? And the answer to that question matters. So maybe we can all ask ourselves that. Am I resting because I'm caring for myself or am I avoiding something I need to address?
Yes. And some people, again, worry about being lazy, the word lazy, that they never give themselves permission to rest at all. And again, it's not about being lazy. Like, yes, we do need to rest. It's important. And avoidance, it's a good aspect of this entire cycle because it is true. Sometimes we do want to avoid certain things, and that's okay. But
Yeah.
rest, it does help us because it will get us back on track to do the things that we have been avoiding.
Hmm.
Like talking about laundry. I have my basket upstairs. I still need to fold that laundry.
Speaking of that, Debbie, let's also talk about how people try to optimize their rest. So the anxious brain loves productive rest. And
Yeah, yeah,
you and I both,
yeah.
just being able to rest without multitasking in a sense. I know that you and I probably do our notes while we're watching TV, and that's unfortunately considered rest to us, or
Uh-huh.
listening to podcasts during a walk. Not
Mm.
a podcast, like an educational podcast, or answering emails while watching TV, folding laundry during your quote relaxing evening. Sometimes we just have to rest, which can feel uncomfortable, but just rest without
Feeling guilty.
feeling guilty and productively resting.
Yeah. And again, I know that this is a luxury that we cannot do all the time, but it
Mhm,
is important to budget and to plan little vacations,
mhm,
little breaks. Because when you remove yourself from your environment, it also I know that I'm being unrealistic a little bit, but it does help us to truly rest.
yeah, it does.
Yeah, but even at home as well. So,
Mm,
something that I am working on as well, at the end of each day, I know this is terrible, but I do ask myself and I ask my husband, and I hope I do not ask my future children, is what did
mhm,
you accomplish today?
mhm,
So that's definitely something that I need to change. I need to shift that. I am thankful that yes, I do try to always accomplish something by the end of the day, but
mhm.
something that I will add to that list is just to truly rest and not feel guilty. So that's
Yeah, yeah, ask Jay tonight, "How did you rest today?"
he'll go on one of his rants.
Yeah.
But I agree, I agree. So with that, let's transition into our third and most favorite segment, which are our guilty pleasures and anxiety wins.
Yes, the part where we celebrate the tiny things helping our nervous system survive the week. So, Debbie, what was your anxiety win and guilty pleasure?
Honestly, I know that we spoke about this offline. It's not a guilty pleasure and it was not an anxiety win, but I watched this documentary, Maternal Instinct, and that was just insane.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
didn't,
terrible.
yeah, I didn't pay much attention like the first 20 minutes, but once I did sit down and I was like just watching, I
Mhm.
was like, oh my gosh, this is awful. Like, this is the true definition of a psychopath. And
Yeah.
then towards the end, knowing what she actually did and how she did it, like
Mhm.
it was just awful. It was awful to watch. It's awful to know that they are individuals that would do things like that.
Yeah, that actually it's funny you say that. That was going to be my guilty pleasure. Like, as I started watching it, I was so excited. I didn't even read what it was about. I probably should
Mhm,
have.
mhm.
And then, yeah, it's far from a guilty pleasure, sadly.
I know. Well, because it's something that we did watch. At the end of the day, after a long day, you do turn on the TV. I know that every Wednesday night, Netflix has a new documentary out, and this was the one that was out this week, and
Wow,
that's
I
where we
didn't know
did watch.
that.
Yeah, it's usually every Wednesday they have a new documentary.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
every Wednesday evening, I am looking forward to, okay, what's this week's documentary? What is it about?
Yeah.
Usually, that's the release date for a documentary. So yeah. But other than that, another guilty pleasure.
Mhm.
Well, an actual guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Guess what I had for dinner last night?
Wendy's?
No.
McDonald's?
Barbecue. It was so good.
Barbecue, that's what we're having tonight.
Oh, I'm so excited for you guys. Oh my gosh. I devoured all of it.
As
It
you
was so good.
should.
Yeah, and then I had to walk like for 20 minutes.
Wow. That's a big guilty pleasure, that's great.
Yeah. Okay, what was yours? Another real guilty pleasure.
My guilty pleasure I don't know if I've shared this on past episodes because this isn't the first time I've done this, but Whole Foods has little individually packed ice cream sandwiches. They're called Nightingale, I think.
Mm, mhm.
Again, this isn't an ad, but it could be if if the brand would like. They're like individually packed ice cream sandwiches, and they have all these different flavors: brownie, cookie, mint. Deb, you would love them. So
Yeah,
my mom and I went to Target yesterday, which is a guilty pleasure in itself for us, and then I jumped over to Whole Foods to get that, and I ate that when I was watching Shrill on Netflix, which I think we'll do future episodes on anxiety and body image.
yeah,
Yeah, so that was a big guilty pleasure for me. That was fun. I had fun.
yeah. Also,
And huh?
no, sorry for interrupting.
That's okay.
I was just going to say it sounds delicious, and I need to start watching the show so that I can be up to date.
Yeah, Shrill. It's so-so. Like, I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about it.
Mhm.
I honestly don't know how I feel about the main character. I actually had to Reddit how other people feel about her because I wasn't sure if it was just me, so I'm excited for you to watch it so we can compare notes, but anyway, and then my anxiety one, I think, again, was this morning just resting, which truly, like, I really didn't feel guilty, and that was
Yeah,
really nice.
I love that.
Yeah. What was your win?
My win, I think I've had a couple of wins this week. In regards to today's topic, I would say that one win is, well, yeah, it's very easy. I'm trying not to be a hypocrite, but it's very easy to not feel guilty about resting when you don't have anything on your calendar.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, taking a couple of days to just really do nothing has been
Mhm.
great.
Good for you, Debbie. You deserve it. We're always doing something. I'm gonna say we. You and I are always doing something, so I'm happy that you're not feeling guilty.
Thank you so much. And we want to encourage others to do the same. Just
Yeah.
try to find a way, even if it's half an hour where you don't feel guilty for resting, that's a win. Small wins matter. Let's not forget that as well.
Yeah, and maybe that could be some homework, asking the question from before, and then also truly trying to rest without multitasking while resting. So,
Yeah.
wrapping it up, if today's episode resonated with you, we hope you'll remember this. Rest is not something that you earn, it's something that we need and that we require. So, you don't have to finish everything before you're allowed to take a break. You don't have to prove your exhaustion before you deserve recovery. And if resting feels uncomfortable, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It may simply mean you're learning something new. So, Davi, do you want to share what we can ask ourselves this week on top of everything, all the other homeworks that I've already
That you have assigned to us? Yes.
yeah,
Well, one small question can be, what would rest look like if I didn't have to earn it? And if that question feels challenging, you're probably not alone. So, with that, thank you all for spending this part of your day with us. And don't forget to rate, review, and follow Two Anxious Girls wherever you listen to podcasts. And we will see you next week. Next week, we will talk about burnout.
I
Bye, Anxious Girls. Bye bye.